So what is learning exactly? Well, all learning really is finding true statements about the world. That's basically all learning is. A true statement, like we said before, is a statement about the world that actually is the case, right? For example, a statement about Sparky, that his hair was brown, was a true statement. And when Mark asked Stacy about Sparky's hair color, and she told him it was brown, he learned something new about the world because he learned something true about the world, right? So sometimes we're told things that are false, and those are not cases of learning. Learning happens when you find true statements. And that's basically the point of learning. You're trying to collect as many true statements as you can. And obviously, some true statements are more valuable than others. Like, for example, true statement about Sparky's hair being brown, that's not the most useful statement, but something like the fact that, let's see, Sparky, maybe Sparky likes being tickled on his belly or something, right? So that's a true statement that might be more valuable, at least when you're interacting with Sparky or something. Or maybe you're a doctor. You're a veterinarian. You have your lab coat on. And let's say Sparky, Sparky's sick, and the veterinarian wants to figure out how to help Sparky. Now the veterinarian has a whole field in his field in veterinarianism of true statements, about dogs and how to take care of a dog and keep them healthy, right? And so the veterinarian, having learned all those things, is able to help Sparky feel better whenever Sparky's sick. And so that's kind of the general value of true statements. Because when you're trying to use statements that are true, because they're true, they're actually the case, you can actually help Sparky. But let's say that the veterinarian has some false statements. The reason why that's a problem is because, let's say, for example, the veterinarian believes that giving Sparky chocolate will help make Sparky feel better. Well, we know that chocolate generally isn't very good for dogs in reality. It's actually false that chocolate will help Sparky. But because the veterinarian has this false statement, if he starts using that information in the real world to try to help Sparky, that false information might end up hurting Sparky more. And that's why true statements are really important. What they're useful for is so that you can navigate the world and actually get the things you want more easily. Because if something's true, then you know that that's something that you need to take into consideration. Whereas if it's false, it can steer you in the wrong direction. And that's basically the main reason why true and false is very, very, very important. Because it gives you the tools, to navigate the world properly. So let's say you have two paths here. And these are metaphorical paths. And let's say you go down this path. This is a path of truths. True statements. Sometimes we get steered in this direction where there might be some false statements stated here. And that's okay. Sometimes we're going to get false statements. We're not always going to find truth automatically. But the goal is to go down this path, because this path is more likely to get you where you want to go. For example, let's say the veterinarian, in this case, the veterinarian wants to save or help Sparky feel better, right? You want Sparky to feel better and be really happy. But sometimes we might go in this direction and we might end up causing some kind of harm to Sparky without realizing it. And that could be totally unintentional, but the idea is that going down true statements will give us better tools to navigate the world and get the things we want. So that's part of the reason why true statements are really good. And that's why learning matters. Because it's about getting true statements.